Good morning, Geminis. Geminis. Some stuff going on for you today. Your energy is coming through very strongly. This poise card was insisting it was going to come out of this pack, so it came out a few times as I was shuffling, so I've got that for you. I'll get into that in a minute because it came out after I was already getting quite a few things through for you. Some of the songs that kind of came through intuitively were Chew on My Heart by James Bay. Now that came through for another sign this week. Which sign was that? It must have been Aries, so I don't know if you're dealing with an Aries. But yeah, it coming through so strongly. I had to actually play it twice to kind of get it out of my head because it was just so strong in my head. Then I was getting The Cave by Mumford and Sons, particularly the line I won't let you choke on that noose around your neck. Now I'm not seeing this as literal. I'm seeing this more as somebody's kind of got themselves into a bit of a situation where they're in danger of kind of getting themselves into some trouble, and it's almost like this other person is saying, I'm going to protect you from that. I'm not going to let you be your own worst enemy, something like this. Then I got the twist. Let's twist again. Twist in time this summer or last summer, whatever it was. Twist in time, a twist in time, a twist in time. What could that be? A twist in time. Interesting. That might come back. I heard someone say, "I want them out of here. I want them out of here. I want them out. I want them out of here." Like that's the kind of the tone. I want them out of here. It wasn't so much screaming or shouting. It was like, I'm done. I'm putting my foot down. I want them out. I want them out of here. I don't know. It was definitely a man's voice, but I don't know if it was if they had an accent or not. It was gone before I could kind of analyze that. Then I got Alisha Rules the World. Aisha Rules the World by Alisha's Attic. That's coming through very, very strongly. She's an angel, but ooh, she sins sometimes. So Gemini, right? She's an angel, but ooh, she sins sometimes. Dressed in white, gets drunk on red wine. Everyone loves her, but a child plays, this is it, a child plays for pleasure and she'll play with your heart until she breaks down your defenses one by one. Now I'm seeing this as your energy, Gemini. It's like... Gemini, you can be a sod. You really can, and you probably know you can. Gorgeous. I love Geminis. I've had lots of lovely Geminis in my life. A very, very good friend. But you're so intelligent. And it doesn't necessarily have to be academic intelligence. It's whatever you put your focus on. You've got a very analytical mind, and you're going to go in and you're going to go in deep, and you're going to look at it from all the facets. So there's a real... it's almost like social intelligence as well as a social intelligence to Geminis, where it's borderline borderline sociopathic, like in the best way, Gemini. I say this with love, where it's like you've got this ability to kind of read the mood of a room, to analyze the intentions of people, analyze human behavior. Yeah, you know how to twist people, you know how to wind people up if you want to as well. Obviously this is depending on all the other aspects of your chart. You may have different planets and different aspects of your chart that counteract this, but pure Gemini energy, and the Gemini energy that I'm tapping into, it's like a rebellious teenager. It's like that kid at school who is sick of following the rules, and the rules don't make any sense, and they know this because they're so smart. They're like, why am I following these rules when they don't make any sense? And it's like, I'm just about to flip the table. I'm just about to tell the teacher everything that they're doing wrong. I'm just about to walk out of here laughing and singing and dancing as everybody screams at me to come back. This is the kind of energy. It's real table flipping energy, Gemini, because you know that the rules don't make sense. So I was already had all this in my head. I was already picking up on all this stroppy teenager energy. I'm sorry if you're a teenager. I'm not saying all teenagers are stroppy. It's just like, I'm actually seeing it as brilliant. Now, I worked in schools for a while, and I was thinking about working in high schools. I always liked the rebels. I always liked the kids who, you know, they didn't quite fit the mold. There was something about them, like whether that be like children with ADHD or children who were in the care system who had learnt to be kind of this rebellious spirit. It's like there's something brilliant about them. There's something brilliant about that, not fitting the mold. Now, my dad, when he was in school, didn't fit the mold either. And he, like, I don't know, I can really connect with that kind of, it's just it's being forced to fit into a system, right? And it is a system. It's like processing cattle for the market, right? For being forced to fit into a system, to play by these rules, when a lot of the time you know that the rules aren't in your best interest. The rules are just there to make life easier for the people running the system. Okay, and this could be stuff to do with the election, okay, in America. It could be something to do with that. Perhaps, Gemini, you're watching the election, you're aware that the system is broken, you're feeling very rebellious, feeling like you kind of want to like say exactly everything that's wrong and like laugh at the system, laugh at the people who are going along with it. But you know that that's going to, like this table flip energy, right? You know that if you say what you're thinking, if you point out the obvious, that everybody's gonna like start like a tweet storm, or you know, everybody on social media, on Facebook, is gonna start having a fight. And it's like, you know, you could press that button, right? You know, you're watching it. And now they're showing me Mean Girls, when Regina George posts all the pages of the book around the school, and everybody's fighting. It's like wild animals, and she's just stood in the centre of it all, like smiling and enjoying it. That's your energy at the moment. Like, look, tell me that's not like Regina George, like, haha, throwing all the paper in the air and watching everybody fight. You're very much on this platform where you've got this perspective. And right, the next song that came through for you, randomized on Spotify, was Numb by Linkin Park. Now tell me that is coincidence. It's exactly what I've been talking about. So tired of being what you want me to be. I was picking up on this, like, even before that song came out, I was picking up on like the butterfly chameleonness of Gemini, of almost, do you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about the Borat movie. Now, I don't want to kind of spoil it too much if you haven't seen it. And it was coming from the Alisha's Attic song, but the girl in it, towards the end, she plays a certain part, she fits a certain role, and she's able to get some quite interesting footage of someone who's very influential in American politics. That's all I'm going to say. So if you haven't seen it, you could maybe go and look up the ending of the Borat movie, perhaps. It's very interesting, and it very much reveals the corruption within this ideal, democracy, that we have, these systems of democracy that are promoted as being one thing, when actually they're very, very corrupt, and they very much support the existing elite. Those of us who, you can get new men entering politics, these new men who, work their way up from nothing, with nothing but a small loan of $1 million from their daddies. Come on. Right, okay, so I'm going to stop, because otherwise, like, that Twitter storm is going to come at me. But it doesn't take a genius to look at a system and say, that's not fair, that system. It's not, everybody's just going along with it because it's a system that's existed for a set period of time, but it's come to a point now where, I don't know. Anyway, just reverse out of my own thoughts there. So this girl, the way she chameleons herself into looking like a certain expectation of that elite political society of America. And she's able to play the system in order to find out things. And Gemini, I don't think it's on this kind of scale that you're doing this, but I think there is an aspect of you looking the part, fitting a certain role, to fit into some kind of system, but you can see the flaws in this system. So this was already what I was doing, this chameleon energy. And then I got Numb by Linkin Park. So tired of being what you want me to be. I've wrote chameleon, adapting to suit expectations of others. Don't know what you're expecting of me. So the Gemini brain here, that social analysis brain of yours, is like trying to figure out, because you're trying to play this game. It's a game for you. It's like you're trying to, but it may be a very serious game. Okay, it's a game of strategy, a game of chess, but there's something real behind it. So I don't want to like make it sound like it's childish or something. It's not what you're doing. There's a childish element to it. As I said, it's like that teenager that's, right, anyway. So you're trying to stay 2 steps ahead of the other people in this situation. You're trying to figure out what they are expecting of you so that you can play that part, fit that role. But there's this kind of like submersive, like sub what word am I trying to get here? Dissentive energy to what you're doing. It's playing a part, getting into a position, putting on this mask, playing this game, trying to stay 2 steps ahead. But there's a sense of it. You're almost ready to flip that table. You're almost ready, because it's poised, right? Poised. You're at a point now where you're almost at that threshold where it's either you've had enough and you're going to throw everything up in the air and just watch the chaos that comes out, or you are almost in a position that you're trying to get into, poised. There's this sense of readiness. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. This is that Gemini intelligence of the frustration of having to play by the rules, play this part, even when you know it's all fake, you know it's all corrupt or unfair in some way. It's like, I'll play your game, but I don't like your game. Can't you see that you're smothering me? It could be that you're dealing with a religious group, you know, that maybe you've been brought up with, traditional values of your family, expectations of a job. It could be so many different things. But, Gemini, the next song you've got, The Show Must Go On by Queen, right? The show must go on. Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but the smile still stays on. Now, as I read this, I got a flash of Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I'm sorry, Gemini, is a Gemini. And I got a sad clown. So I don't know if I'm channeling Donald Trump. Really not somebody that I want to have in my auric field, in my energy field. But interesting. Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but the smile still stays on. Oh, Gemini, you're diabolical. In the best way, Gemini. It's very strong energy. I've got dragon's blood burning for you now. I don't know what you're doing. The show must go on, like behind the curtain. Pantomime. You're playing this role, and it's almost like maybe you're in the public eye. Maybe you've got like a lot of eyes on you. Maybe there's a lot of social expectations upon you at the moment. You're almost in position though. You're almost in position to do whatever it is that you're planning. This show must go on. It's almost like, I mean, again, this is kind of like over the top. So we're going to have to break it down onto a more everyday level for the majority of Geminis. But it's almost like a spy, right? It's like somebody who's trying to get information from politicians, so they dress up as, I don't know, a Miss World, and like they moving into position, like so reading the room socially. It's like James Bond or something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you've been watching a James Bond movie. The James Bond movie's coming out soon, I think, November. The show must go on, Gemini. You've got to keep it together. It's like you're at breaking point. You're so frustrated, but you know that you've got a job to do. The show must go on. They're just playing it. And then Lucky by Britney Spears. Right at the end there, I channeled Lucky by Britney Spears. Every morning she wakes up, knock on the door, perfect makeup, perfect smile. It's you, Gemini, they've all been waiting for. Everybody's waiting for you. isn't she lucky, this Hollywood girl? And they say she's so lucky, she's a star, but she cries alone in the dark. Gemini, what? I don't know. If maybe you're watching this and you're like, no idea what you're talking about. That is not my situation. That's fine. I always channel the most important message that needs to come through that's going to do the most good. So when I start to pull cards, I will have at least a small message for everybody in there. But yeah, this overall message that's coming through, it's really big. I'm very curious to know exactly who I'm connecting with and what this situation is. Really powerful. It feels like powerful feminine energy as well. It's like at one point they were showing me again the Borat movie, there was this room of women. It was like a debutante ball, and it was almost like a cattle market. And it's like, again, like I was saying about that a spy that's playing the part of Miss World. Miss Congeniality is like the perfect example. It's like you're going in there like this FBI agent, playing the part, trying to figure out what all the social, because it's not your natural environment. It's not perhaps where you've come from. So you're trying to navigate this different environment with these different social expectations, trying to be like everybody else and play this part when actually you've got this huge analytical brain that's analyzing everything constantly and taking notes, like taking receipts, right? And you just sat there thinking, I just want to point out how much like sheep you all are. Like, are we all playing this game? Do we all know? Are we looking at each other thinking, we all know we're playing this game, we all know this is false? Or are you literally stupid and you're just buying into this system? This is the energy that I'm getting from you, Gemini. Right, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to drink some more of my coffee. I'm going to tune into the energies. I'm going to pull some cards for you. We're going to see what's going on. So stick around if you've not got anything yet. There may be something for you when I start to pull cards. Back in a moment. Okay, couple of things. As I'm tuning in, I sort of get into a meditation pose. I sit quite upright, and part of my little tuning in thing is I do the Lord's Prayer. Now, not because I'm particularly believing in one religion. I kind of think everything exists. It's all one big thing. But because it's a little bit of a mantra, right? It's like a bit of a tradition. It's a lot of the words are actually quite good in there. It just seems like a lot of the words are good things to say. So I'm sat there with my hands in my lap, my hands in my lap. And that's my Manchester coming out. Sat very, very upright. And I had this sort of impression of being back in school, back in the school assembly, sat on the floor, legs crossed, sat up straight, being a good girl, reciting the Lord's Prayer, which we did every time we had assembly when I was a little girl in my school, because at the time it was quite Christian, the society. And yeah, they don't do it anymore. But yeah, we did it every day, the Lord's Prayer, sat up straight, being good little girls and boys, doing the traditions, being part of the system. I don't know, something to that. And then I was doing this. I don't know if this is maybe something you do. Maybe this is some sort of, maybe like a calming technique, but I was doing this to my own hands. I don't know if that means something about someone's going to receive money or something, or if it's a calming technique, or it's like you sat there being frustrated, and you're trying to keep yourself calm, like children who have ADHD or autism in schools often have these kind of self-soothing techniques. So yeah, kind of really rubbing the palm of my own hand, trying to be a good little girl. So I don't know, maybe that means something to somebody there. The Show Must Go On was coming through so strongly and so loudly. I mean, it is a loud, powerful song, but it was it's like you've got to keep going, Gemini, but you've got this power. It's you. You're pushing yourself in a situation. You're like, it's this real feeling of like picking yourself up. It's inside your heart is breaking, but you're picking yourself up. You're putting on the mask, like the makeup. You fit in the mold because you've got something to do, and you're poised, you're close, and that dragon's blood is coming through so strongly. Right, okay, let's keep going. So we may get something else here. We may get something for like perhaps a different set of Geminis, a different storyline, but I think it's going to be a continuation. Let's find out more. What's going on, please? appreciation and healer of the ages. You know, Jesus didn't fit in, did he? I mean, I'm not the best at Bible stories, but from what I remember vaguely, he was a bit of a rebel, wasn't he, when he was a teenager? Definitely broke the mold, definitely shook things up. And this is the thing. The people who fit the system, the people who play by the rules, the people who fit the mold, all they do is continue to support the system. They continue to support the mold. They continue to make that tradition remain the same. And if you are in that tradition and you can see all its faults, why would you want it to remain the same? So I'm talking about Jesus as a character now. Please try not to bring too much religious expectation or belief into this reading. We're going to try and be open to everybody, but it's the storyline, okay, that's important here, of this person who was really rebellious, really shook up the system, right? Like, he questioned things. He made other people question things. He changed the hearts of the people. Look, his heart's radiating here. This changed the hearts of the people, which made the system change around him. Oh my God, look at the mirror numbers. Oh my God. Oh my God. Number 11, right? Number 11. And then, so 11 is important. That's about two people, right? Like, it's a union number. And then we've got mirror numbers, 1551. So I feel like this is two people here then. Appreciation and healer of the ages. This is two energies. And then cornucopia. And it's so funny because I saw the appreciation card, just like a glimpse of it, and I thought it was the cornucopia card. And then I pulled it out and I was like, oh, it's not the cornucopia card. And then it's on the bottom. Community. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, don't those girls look like the girls at the debutante ball, right? It's like, oh, buy me. I'm the cow you want. Gross. 7, though. This is about life path and destiny. I'm noticing these 3 cards, right, are all about the garden and the gate. They're all giving me garden and the gate energy, 9 of Pentacles energy, which is, I mean, I think there is a garden and a gate card in here, but just to kind of explain my thought process, it's like, this is representing the system to me where everything's good. It's maybe you're one of the elite, or maybe you're looking in. Look at the all the classical references as well here with the podium, the columns in the background here. Yeah, this is very much symbolizing the status quo, especially of America, England as well to an extent. This kind of we're based on classical values. Classical values, my ass. I studied classics. I know what you're up to, guys. Don't get into a classical debate with me. I'm gonna, yeah. But there's this sense of like picking and choosing. The elite, they pick and choose the aspects of classical history that they think give credibility to their cause, when actually you can, if shred of knowledge, you can underestimate it. You can question everything. Anything can be questioned. Like, Ovid is my favorite poet. Nothing is firm foundations. Everything can be questioned. Spin, political spin, the spin you put on something. Yeah, picking and choosing, like the way that politicians pick and choose from statistics. I think there's a very famous quote, and I can't remember exactly or who said it, but there's a quote, I think again from an American politician, who says, with statistics, you pick the right statistics and you can prove any point. Anything you want to prove, you just find the statistics that look good. It's not about the statistics themselves, it's which statistics you pick. What spin you put on the statistics. It's all about the shine, the glimmer, the it's like all an illusion. It's all this, it's like the haves and have-nots or something in some kind of way. could be picking up on somebody who has done quite well out of the system. They've played the game. Perhaps it's you, Gemini. Perhaps you played the game. You're very appreciative of what you have. You know, perhaps you're in a position where you've got kind of a lot of abundance. You've got a lot of, like, your needs are met, right? Your needs are met. You've got a lot of respect from a community. You're up on a bit of a pedestal. You're in a position now where you can change things. You can use that influence to heal things, to fix issues with the system, to shine a light on things that aren't working so well. You can share your abundance, your gifts with other people. I'm going to read Appreciation and Healer of the Ages because these are the cards that came out. I'm using Cornucopia and Community as kind of context for it. So let's read Appreciation. 15 is weird. This, what else was I picking up on? Something else from Aries' reading. I can't remember. Right, okay. I've opened it on strategy, making a plan. So this is what I feel like you're doing. Appreciation, choosing gratitude. This card shows a woman holding a single rose. She enjoys the scent and beauty of the single blossom, yet around and behind her are bramble bushes. She could be focusing on these, worried that she might get caught up in their prickly branches of difficulty. Instead, she's pausing to experience the blessing of this single flower. The sun is breaking through the clouds, shining on her choice and on the tiny buds waiting to open up. This card upright is telling you you have much to be grateful for. Oh, ouch, did that hit a nerve, Gemini? And like the flowering bush behind the woman on the card, there is more to come that you can't yet see. Congratulate yourself at every moment that you choose appreciation. This decision shifts your consciousness from lack to value. And it's guaranteed to bring more worth and riches of life for you. So it's true that you should appreciate what you do have, and perhaps you have a lot more than some others. You may not be like the elites of American society, but perhaps you are. You know, if you look at other people in the world, perhaps you are quite comfortable. Perhaps you should appreciate that. But there's this thing about the thorns around you, and I think you're aware of the thorns. So I almost feel like somebody said that to you. It's like a parent saying, you should be grateful for what you've got. Be grateful for what you've got. Like, don't look at those thorns. Don't look at those problems. Go and have fun and go and party. Go and be like these other girls who are enjoying, you know, they appreciate what they've got. They appreciate, look at all the roses, but there's loads of roses. You're like, well, I've got this rose. Yeah, it's nice, but it's just like all the other roses. There's nothing special about them. They're all the same. It could be talking about the girls. Perhaps, are you a male coming to this reading, or somebody who's interested in women, or perhaps this is looking at a circle of friends. There's this sense of like, it doesn't have to be women either. It could just be people in general, but they keep showing me that debutante ball. Someone's like, but they're all boring. They're all the same. They all grew up in this system. They've all got the same boring values, the same boring opinions, the same boring like hobbies. They all have the same boring conversation. Like, why should I appreciate? And this isn't me being misogynistic in any sort of way. I do realise that there's a sense of this behind what I'm saying. You know, obviously every single individual person will have individual value, their own opinions and things, but I'm talking about the perspective of the person that I'm tuning into, or the people that I'm tuning into. So perhaps almost what's happening here is somebody's standing out, somebody's different, I'm seeing it as almost like this is the group of people who, it's not that there's anything wrong with them, it's just that they're part of the system. They're kind of fully in that system where they've all got the same shared opinion. It's like people who've grown up in a bubble. They haven't experienced anything outside of that bubble. All they know is their bubble. So it's like their opinions inside that bubble are all that matters, because that's all they know. It's like, well, my opinion's right because all these other people say my opinion's right. But you're in that bubble where you're not actually getting the view of anyone else. And it's like you, perhaps, Gemini, have come along. I'm seeing this and this as you, really standing out actually from the crowd. Really kind of perhaps drawing attention to yourself. Again, like they show me Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality. She stands out because she's different. She stands out because she has different opinions, and she questions things, and then the other girls start to question things as well, and their life starts to improve because she's come in like this. It's like this bubble, and then all of a sudden there's like this new thing in the bubble. It's like perhaps you've made soup the same way all your life, vegetable soup the same way all your life, and somebody else comes in and like, my grandma puts this spice in the soup, and they just do it. And you're like, wait, hang on, you've spoiled my soup. Why have you done that? That's not part of the recipe. And then you taste it and you're like, whoa, that is actually amazing. Why haven't I done that my whole life? This is looking like soup to me now. It's funny, as my friend was talking to me about soup, ginger, perhaps like it's an unusual ingredient perhaps for some people. So yeah, there's this real kind of like appreciation then for the difference of that person. It's like, well, I didn't know you could bring so much to the table, perhaps literally. And then they really starting to draw attention and stand out because, like, again, up on this pedestal, it's like, hang on, you're so different, you're so unique. Like, tell us more. And it's like becoming this almost like like Jesus figure of like, all of a sudden this person's like, rather than being shunned for being different, it's like, oh, actually, tell us more. Like, what more do you have to teach us? It's like become this oracle of like information or wisdom, or all the time trying to still fit into that mold. Okay. Right, let's find out then about 51. I don't know if this is the same person. I'm seeing it as a different person. I feel like this is possibly the person who's noticed, perhaps, I don't know who you are, Gemini, but it's like this is the person who's noticed the person who's different. Like how I was saying about when I was working in school, and I kind of really noticed the children who were different, who didn't fit the mold, because they were interesting. They were, I don't know. Right, health and vitality. This powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of the divine consciousness pours from his hands and his heart, flowing to you with love and a powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to the physical, mental, and emotional ills. There you go, you needed that, right? What was that line from the song? I'm sorry, I'm on... I'm on Aries' reading. I've got a list of names and yours is underlined in red. Very different energy. I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface, but the show must go on, right? The makeup's cracking, the show must go on. But this energy, whatever this energy is it's here. It's got your back. It's giving you the strength to persevere. Helping you to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. You may have felt this strong presence recently, or you may just be opening up to the wonderful sensations now. You can call upon this emissary of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, or renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place. So yeah, it's like now, whatever your religious beliefs, whatever you think of, I don't know, spirits, these kind of things, just try and trust that there is some kind of presence or being or entity that is on your side, and it's giving you the strength, because I think you have work to do here. It's like you have something. Did you get the reading a while back? Was this you who had the reading which was like... you've got something important to do on Earth. You've got something to kind of create. It was like you had an important mission that was going to change the world somehow. And it was like maybe you're a musician, you write a song, a bit like Bill and Ted, right? They write a song, it changes the world. Or, perhaps you're going to do a piece of art that shakes things up, that makes people question that but it may not be that you're this kind of messiah-like figure, but it may be that you do something, you create something, you put something out into the world. And this is kind of like your divine path with that number 7, where you're going to create this moment or this thing, and that is going to influence and inspire somebody else, who is then going to be more like this very like I'm gonna use Jesus as the example, but I'm not saying it's going to be Jesus, and I don't mean to be rude to any religion. I just can't think of any other example. But it's like you'd be the person who writes the song that the little boy listens to and thinks, "Oh my goodness, I'm going to change the world." It's like John Lennon writing Imagine, right? And the little boy listening to Imagine and being like, "I'm going to be a politician and I'm going to change things." And it's this ripple effect of, it's almost like a generational ripple effect, where you have to have all the dominoes in place. You have every small domino is important to get to that big like that big revolutionary domino that's going to do something hugely important to the world. So don't ever doubt yourself. And I think if this is destiny, if this is like you've got this thing to do, you're going to have this energy behind you, helping to push you through the challenging aspects of feeling like, I've got to wear a mask, the show must go on, okay? Like the makeup may be cracking, but open the curtain, I'm going out there anyway, I've got work to do. It really does feel like I've got something to do, I've got work to do. The show must go on, despite all the crap that you're dealing with. Because that person down the line is going to change all the crap. they're gonna shake up the system. So don't worry that you're not the one changing everything right now, because you're part of the story. You're part of the myth already. Myth, I'm using that in the, again, like corruption of classical culture. The word mythos, from the Greek, it doesn't mean something that's made up, something that's imaginary, something that's false. It actually just means story or legend, or something that is being told from one person to the next. And that's how tradition's made, that's how religion's made, that's how stories are made, because people tell the story to the next generation. An interesting example, actually, somebody posted on Twitter the 2 different versions of Away in a Manger. The one that I grew up with, I was talking about being in assembly at school, right, and having those Christian elements to my education. So we'd say the Lord's Prayer, and then we'd sing hymns, and one of them would be away in a manger, no crib for a bed. I can't sing it, I'm terrible, I couldn't sing it in school. And then apparently America grew up with a whole different version of that song, which is like, away in a manger, no crib for a bed. It's like, and I was like, what on earth is that? Like, what is that? It's just, because it's such a traditional song to me. It's so like cultural. It's important to the people who it means, something to. It's like such a rock of culture, that to have another culture sing the same song, but they're using a completely different rock. Like, I'm using an igneous rock, they're using a metamorphic rock. Like, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre, and it just goes to show who's right, who is right, which version is right. Are any versions right? Or can you just do it my way and say everything's right? It's all one big thing, baby. It's all part of the same big machine. Right, let's pull an energy then. What energy is Gemini in at the moment? Oh, did you see the way that they flew out? I've never had cards fly out like that before. Watch out for that cobra. That's that thorns. You know that there's thorns there. I'm reading the thorns as male sexual energy. They keep showing me that Borat movie with the debutante ball, and the general running theme of that movie of male sexual predators going after young girls who are raised to be like this. It's like beauty pageants, but with little girls wearing makeup and high heels. It's you're appreciated because you've ugh, I don't want to go into that anymore. But yeah, watch out for the cobras. I feel like you're aware of them though. You fully know that they're looking at you. You're fully aware of the pricks, Gemini. Right, beaver. Yeah, they're after you, beaver. Yeah, look at that. But this is sorry. It's true though. You're working away in the shadows. This is representing to me you knowing that you've got work to do, and kind of doing it in the shadows, doing it at night. Really hard working though, and very persevering. I'm sort of seeing the bulkiness, the muscle of the beaver, this hard working nature of like, I'm not going to stop until that dam's built. And again, that tarantula, it's this creeping energy of the tarantulas. They're not like spiders. They don't sort of spin a web out in the open. They kind of hide in quite dark places. I'm seeing this as your energy though. It's like, because you're playing that same game, you're like, do you know what it's like? It's like, you know what game is being played here. You know that these girls at the debutante ball don't have any real power. They're just cattle in the system, sheep being processed by the system. So that's very, very derogatory to those girls. And I'm sure that they all have their own individual interests and talents and opinions. But I just have to say it as it's coming through. So please just kind of don't. The things that I'm saying are not necessarily my opinions or beliefs. But I have to report what is coming through to me. It could be that it's somebody's opinion or belief, right? It could be that this cobra figure, the pricks, are like, which one do I want? It really does feel like a slave market or like a cattle market. Which one do I want to buy? Which one of these do I want to invest in? And then get something back from, right? It's very phallic. Appreciate what I give you. Appreciate, I've picked you out of this crowd. You owe me something now. It's gross energy, but I've got to report what I'm getting to you. So it's like this person, I'm seeing it as the Gemini energy, and I'm seeing it as feminine Gemini energy. It's like, okay, it's again, Miss Congeniality, right? Sandra Bullock in that movie. It's like, okay, I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna do my hair, I'm gonna wear this skirt with this big slit up, I'm going to show my leg, I'm going to get the attention, I'm going to get picked. But I'm not playing their game. I look like I'm playing their game. I look like I'm fitting this mold. But what you don't know is I'm actually playing the game of the pricks. I'm playing their game, but they don't know I'm playing their game. Alisha rules the world. Line up your soldiers, shoot them all down, because Alisha rules the world. You think you found a dream, then it stutters and it sings that Alisha rules the world. She's as fragile as a flower, but it's like the girl again in the end of the Borat movie. Gets dressed up, looks like one of those girls, but she's setting a trap. She's playing them at their own game, but they don't know it. She's as fragile as a flower, but you better line up your soldiers. Right, this reading's taking a different turn, so just finished my coffee. I am not going to pull as many cards as I have been doing for other people for past, present and future, because I have to trust that the message that comes through is the one that's meant to come through. The thinking man there, he's like, this could be Gemini energy too. They're showing me financial constraints and Archangel Metatron. So there could be, again, this kind of, I'm seeing this as good energy. It could be the, there's this definite sense of like, perhaps there's somebody else in this system who's playing the same game as you are, Gemini, or this is very much Gemini energy, the thinking man. It's like maybe two people who are part of this system, both playing on their own side of this chessboard, both aware of the problems with the system, both aware that they want to change things. But it's like winking to each other across the room. It's like... both laying your traps, but on your own sides. But together, like I'm seeing it as like two people who are working together in this corrupt system. Okay, right. Let's see. I'm gonna pour. I don't want to do it off camera because I always feel like people are gonna think I'm making it up. Right. Past emotions, please. Past emotions. No, that's too much. Okay. I'm just gonna go with what they're giving me. We're doing it differently today, Gemini. You're doing things differently. Okay. This is a card about mentally moving on. You've checked out of something. You're like mentally, you like physically, you're still in the game. Physically, you're there. Your presence is there. Mentally, you're out of it. You've checked out the situation. I don't know who's who. Just swap it around as you need to. It's your mental capacity which is keeping you afloat here. It's your logic, it's your strategy, it's your plan that's keeping you from drowning in your emotions. As long as you've got the plan, you're going to be able to steadily steer yourself out of that choppy water. But mentally, like, you're out of there. This is a defensive energy. This is standing up for yourself. This is not taking any. I'm sorry, this is a very sweary reading, but I feel like it needs to be. This is not taking any shit from anyone. It's definitely like... this is like maybe what happens after you flip the table, where it's like, why did you flip the table? Everybody's like, well, why did you do that? And you're saying, I had to flip the table. It was right to flip the table. I know I broke the rules, but it needed flipping. Very defensive, standing up for yourself, gaining the higher ground energy. Because you've made a decision to not accept some kind of emotional offer regarding working with other people. This is like the celebration, okay? This is like the garden, the party, whatever that represents for you, the system. But it's all these people happily dancing, but you've seen through it. You're not taking it because you've seen all the faults with it. You've seen the problems with it. You're like, I don't want to be here. Didn't somebody get, this is not my idea of a good time as well? Who got that? I can't remember. Somebody got, this is not my idea of a good time. I don't know who it was. Yeah, so you're not taking the offers because you don't want to be part of whatever that system is anymore. You don't want to work together with other people on creating something that is based on faulty foundations or false foundations. I'm being corrected, false foundations. It's like a house of cards, is it? Is that the term? A house built on lies. It only exists as long as people believe in it. It's this, yeah, a system that only exists. That's it. They're telling me yes. They're like, it's like almost like they're all pointing. It's a system that only exists as long as people believe in the system. As long as a government only exists as long as people follow the rules of the government. A democracy only exists as long as people believe in the democracy. As soon as it's seen as being corrupt or the faults are revealed and people stop believing it, then the system falls down, like people pulling out the bottom of a house of cards. I know that that's a political TV show, The House of Cards, but I've never actually seen it, so I don't know if that has any significance. Maybe you've watched that, maybe this means something to you, but it's coming to you strongly, House of Cards, and I can actually see, you know, this. When people do this, like, I can't even get those two cards to stand up. Yeah, so it's all going to come tumbling down. Okay, let's get something from this pack. What else do you want to tell me? Just tell me. Just go on, give me a story. Making a decision there, being very secretive about it. There's no passion behind something anymore. Tell me about the other decision, the other choice. Tell me about the other choice. right? You want to change things. You've got a choice here, right? Two paths, two routes. Do you go down the route it's funny that it's come out this way around. Do you go down the route that's been walked on a million times, the traditional route, the way that things are done, the rules, the structure, the game that has the rules, and it's always been played that way, so why would you play it any other way? Just appreciate what you've got. Just appreciate what you've got. Stay in the garden. Be careful of the thorns. Be happy you've got that one flower, but you've got no passion for it. No passion for it. This is like that the woman who's just about to flip the table. It's like no passion for that situation anymore. Feeling like your temper is building within you. About to light the match, flip it behind you and watch everything burn. This is kind of like really feeling like you're finding it hard to be there now, but you have to put the makeup on, even if it's cracked. You have to go out there. The show must go on. It's like you're biding your time. You know you have to stay a bit longer. It's not quite, you're poised, you're ready, but there's something that you need to achieve, or there's something that you need to do before you can leave. Oh God, it's like really showing me the girl in the hotel room again at the end of the Borat movie. It's like not wanting to be there. It's like I almost feel like my skin is crawling. Like that's the feeling of being there. It's like I can't stand it. And going back to doing this as well, like that self-soothing technique. It's like I cannot. Like it's every instinct. It's like being somewhere, feeling like that cobra's watching you, and every instinct within you is like screaming at you to run. But you think, I can't run, because if I make a sudden move, that cobra is going to strike. So I need to almost like edge away carefully out of this. Like I've got to wear that mask. I've got to keep the smile on my face, plastered on my face. Am I picking up on bloody Malalia or whatever her name is? Trump's bloody wife. I've got to keep that smile on my face a little bit longer. I'm nearly out of this. Knowing you've got something, it's like one last task to do before you can leave. Like really show me that Sandra Bullock movie again. I need to go and watch that. The other choice here is turning the wheel, change it, twisting fate, flipping the table, going for something where you have a lot of love behind it, racing into a situation, perhaps revealing a love interest here. But again, this card, the imagery on this card, it's got that little mouse down there and it's like, whoa, hold back. There's something you need to do first. It's not time yet. The Wheel of Fortune carries a sense of divine timing. Everything comes to those who wait. All in good time. They're giving me, hold on for one more day. Oh, yeah, God, that song. Why do you wrap yourself up in these chains? No one can change your life except for you. Don't ever let anyone step all over you. Open your heart and your mind. Someday somebody's going to make you want to turn around and say goodbye. Too late, baby. Don't let them hold you down, make you cry. There's something really gross about this reading that I don't like. Gemini, like, I'm on your side. Spirit, the universe is on your side here, okay? You've got this. Whatever you're up to, you've got this. You can do this. Hold on more day. Hold on for one more day. The thing that always strikes me with that song though is like, should you hold on for one more day? I always think, why would you? Just leave right now. You know, you're in a bad situation, just leave. But it's almost like, I really feel like you're trying to slip away quietly from that cobra. It's like you can't move fast near that cobra else it'll strike. It's almost like trying to like sneak out the back door from this party, like slip away unnoticed so that people don't gossip about you not being there or gossip about why you left early. You just have to sneak away. They're showing me the Madonna Drowned World Substitute for Love video again. So I really feel like I'm picking up on somebody's energy strongly here. It's kind of coming through in a lot of readings, or it's a common theme that's going on for a lot of people. Now they're playing it. I traded fame for love without a second thought. It all became a silly game. Some things cannot be bought. I got exactly what I asked for, wanted it so badly. Running, rushing back for more, I suffered full so gladly. I just paused to write down a couple of songs that I've not written down yet. And I was writing Substitute for Love, but I abbreviated it to Sub for Love. And I was like, God, that sounds like YouTube. Subscribe. I love you if you subscribe. Now I obviously am on YouTube. I do ask people to subscribe, but I always make sure I say if you want to. Like, I appreciate everybody for being here, whether you subscribe to me or not. But you do get people, content creators, who are like, it feels like bought fame. It feels like, yeah, a substitute for love. Fame is a substitute for love. Subscribers, you like looking at the subscriber count rather than seeing it as individual people. Maybe that's what I was picking up on with this community card, right? It's like, it's just numbers. It's all just numbers. And then one person standing out. Should I wait for you? My substitute for love. Right, best advice, please, that we can get for Gemini or the people coming to this reading today. Go the distance. Yeah, you've got to reach that finish line, haven't you? But I don't know what that is. Like, it's like the polar bear is perseverance energy. So what this is giving me immediately is like, you see that finish line, you know you've got a job to do, you know you need to complete a task. You've got to kind of push on through this chaos and conflict that's in your path. The polar bear is like perseverance. It's like you're so close to that finish line, and you just have to persevere. And it's almost like this is the finish line, right? Imagine, oh my God, look, didn't I say the John Lennon song? Imagine all the people. It's like, imagine all the people you're going to help when you do this. This is kind of what it feels like. It feels really important. It feels like, I just keep going back to that Borat movie, the end. It's like, if I do this, yes, it's uncomfortable for me. It's dangerous for me. But once I do it, once I show people behind the curtain of this system, it's going to benefit all those women that are going to come after me, all those people that come after me. Why have I put that in reverse? I don't even know when I did that. So you've got the job. You've got to do the job. You've got to Sandra Bullock this. You've got to go the distance, get to the finish line. I'm always seeing this as the finish line. It's like that one obstacle. It's like you've got to get past the cobra. You've got to get past the cobra. The cobra is the only thing between you and the finish line right now. And then it's like this leg up card is here. It's like this support from the universe. So let's read. Let's find out what your advice cards say. Go the distance. 47. It's funny, this 46 and 47. It's almost like you join forces with this thinking man to get past this obstacle. 33, 34. There's definitely progression here. Could be career progression. Definitely a sense of moving forward, getting closer and closer to that finish line. So if you're feeling stuck, you're not stuck. This is saying that there is progression here. You are moving forward. You're getting closer and closer to that finish line. Look, 48 as well, 47, 48. Now, these are all well shuffled. All these numbers are coming out like this for a reason. 46, 47, 48, 33, 34. Sorry, I'm so, like, invested in this reading. It's like maybe, it's almost like Malalia, or I don't know her name. It's like, this is what I mean. It's like, don't know her name, right? She's just one of them. She's just a plastic. She's just another plastic. Sorry, Malalia. I'm sure you've got a lot to you behind your curtain of your personality. But it's like, maybe that's what she is. Maybe Malalia is Sandra Bullock. Maybe she's a Russian spy. Maybe she's like there and she's like waiting for that finish line. And then she's going to dump a dossier on somebody's desk and like, here's all the shit he's been up to behind the scenes. I would love that to happen. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I'm just kind of telling you the scenarios as they come into me. Right. I'm just going to read Oracle. Do I want Oracle or protection messages? I'm going to do the protection messages because I feel like this force is here protecting you through whatever it is you're doing. Do you feel as if you've been wandering in a desert now for ages and ages and nothing is happening? Didn't I say there is progression? When you conjure up the image of a desert, you picture parched lips, sunburnt skin or orange skin, and mirages. But there is more to it than that. Amid the hot sands, there are creatures with resilient spirits, tough skins, and the willingness to burrow deep underground for water so that they may thrive. This is a time of developing survival skills and resilience. Didn't I say that? You are learning how to conserve your strength, and in this temporary time of austerity, it's wise to be selective about where you expend your energy. Listen to the call of your soul, because it will never lead you astray. This is an important time of letting go what's not important. Letting go of what's not important. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there's no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. Your authenticity is what makes you stand out from the crowd, okay? Don't feel like, look at that. Don't feel like, if you're the zebra, don't feel like you have to dress up as a giraffe. You know, the giraffes are great. They've got those gorgeous long necks, you know, they can reach up to the tallest trees, but you're a zebra, you're unique, you're something different and special. You stand out from the crowd, so why would you try and hide that? Why would you try and be like all the other zebras? No, sorry, why would you be like, try and look like all the other giraffes when you're an authentic, cool, stripy zebra? Like, you're a shit giraffe because you're not meant to be a giraffe. So be a zebra, like, be yourself, because that's what makes you stand out from the crowd. That's what brings you the success and the recognition and gets you into position. I'm going to move that snake. Bugger off, snake. Not welcome here. Not anymore. Changing the rules. It's not your party anymore. It's not your game. We've changed it from the inside. Chaos and conflict. That's what it is. Interesting. That's what it is. It's not. Perhaps the table flipping just gets you in trouble. Perhaps the table flipping just gets you kicked out of the party, and you can't do anything if you're kicked out of the party. But if you're inside the party, winking at those other people who they're giving me the Handmaid's Tale, changing the system from the inside, finding allies, knowing that it's a long game. Changing the system from the inside out. All right, let's read chaos and conflict. Opposing forces come together. Oh my goodness. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere. But isn't that just American politics right now on election day? But consider the value of chaos that serves you well. As you become unmoored by it, scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need. Didn't it say this reading as well said drop the things you don't need? Look. Like she's dropping the parts of herself she doesn't need anymore. Dropping the it's like dropping the mask. It's like the mask is breaking, right? The mask is cracking, so let it fall away, but carry on with the show. Maybe this makes more sense to you. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outwards and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with somebody else, facing a storm you feel you can't control, yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Yeah, what was I talking about, that bubble? Look upon this as just a moment in time where you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to flight, okay? Don't flip the table. This is a time to understand rather than be understood. Walking in your shoes. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. It's like what I was saying about the chameleon right at the start of the reading. It's trying to understand other people's perspective, trying to look outside of that bubble of existence where everything's just reflected back to you. It's like the people around you might as well be mirrors in that situation, because they're just reflecting your own opinions and yourself back to you. So what happens if you try and look at things from the other perspective? What if you are a Democrat and you try and look at things from a Republican point of view, or vice versa? Do you understand the other people better? Is there some common ground that you can get to? Perhaps people vote for a certain way because of their own bubble, because of their own reality, because of their own perceptions, and it's no good saying those people are stupid, those people just believe the hype. Either way, right, either side of this story, perhaps you've got more in common than you realise. Perhaps actually you could have sympathy for these people and their views, even if you don't agree with them. Perhaps flipping the table just gets you into trouble, so you need to perhaps support those who aren't as... Perhaps you are in a position where you're wealthy, where you're privileged, where you think, well, I've got this... I'm in a position where I can help other people. I can use my voice to help other people. I can give them a leg up, right? I can perhaps, within my system, if I'm, everybody around me believes in a certain party, perhaps they villainize the other side. Perhaps I can be the person who explains why people vote the way they do, why the people feel the way they do, what their opinions are, what their perspectives are, what their life experience is, because these people don't know. These people don't know what it's like to worry about if you're going to be able to pay the bills. People don't know what it's like to worry if you're going to have food to feed your baby, if you can pay for diapers. I said diapers, not nappies. That's an American term, so that's interesting. Definitely feeling American politics today, as is everybody else, right? Yeah, they don't know what it's like to struggle. They're giving me pulp common people. Roaches climb the walls. Your daddy can just call your daddy, he can stop it. You never live like common people. You never do whatever common people do. Never fail like common people. Never watch your life slide out of view. And dance and drink and screw, 'cause there's nothing else to do. So you can take these stories back to your community, to your bubble, and explain the other people's point of view and say it's no good to say that they're stupid. It's no good to shout at them and tell them they're wrong. You have to understand where they're coming from. You have to give people a leg up, because that's the only way that we can improve as society as a whole. 34. You come to a point where going at it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with, who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all the areas of your life when you need a boost. The trick is to accept the aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. Yeah, because you are trying to do it alone. This Three of Pentacles in reverse is like you are rejecting the people around you. Maybe the message is wrong. Maybe I was wrong at the start. Maybe the message isn't that you have to reject the party, you have to flip the table and get out of there. Maybe it's that you have to understand people better, to accept the help when it's given. Just be aware of the pricks. Be aware of the pricks. Appreciate what you have. Perhaps you don't have to do it all alone. Perhaps you can work with the other people. Perhaps you can appreciate the gifts coming towards you, even if they come with... you can appreciate the rose even if it comes with thorns. I don't know, Gemini. I feel like the choice is yours here. What are you going to do? Perhaps there's different storylines for different people. I definitely feel like there's someone here who is the same as you. Like these two people, these two energies, I'm seeing it as two different people. You've got a number 11 card there. It's like, accept the offers of help. Try... Yes, be aware of the thorns. Yes, be aware of the bad things about the situation, but you're not going to change anything if you just leave the party. You can change things from within. You can change hearts and minds right from within. You just need to kind of open the doors to new experiences here. Perhaps if you are different, perhaps if you're not the giraffe, you're a zebra, you can still go to that party and you can say, look, yeah, okay, that's your opinion, but here's my opinion based on my experience, which is different to yours. Take it or leave it. And you may find that actually these people open up a little bit, they have their worldview expanded, and they can help you if it's feeling like a struggle. I don't know. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't, Gem. Sub for love. Subscribe if you want to. Leave me a like if you want to. Comment if you want to. And if you don't want to do any of those things, that's your choice. And I totally respect that. Gemini babies, best of luck with that. Let me know how you get on if you want to.